We're at the kickoff for the Austin Film Festival.
25th anniversary, right? I'm glad to be back.
Lake levels rose so quickly that a lot of people didn't have the time to prepare.
This flooring is from President Madison's house. They refurbished it and...
President Madison?
Yeah.
I am always blown away when I meet new salespeople, especially real estate agents, who post on Instagram once a month. They say, well, that's not really me. Well, then the job isn't really you.
We do it in the spirit of going against the grain of the negative media, giving inspiring information, and having people walk away from our show with something of value.
You're seeing a disruption in both the real estate and the mortgage space.
A lot of people are just not willing to put in the work.
What video does is that it demands an emotional response.
You know what I love about this show? It's totally unscripted.
Welcome back to Your American Dream. I say your because these are stories for you and by you. We're sharing positive stories week by week and hoping to make a lasting impact on the nation. Today we have an incredible adventure with co-hosts Craig Sewing and Tawny Vargas. We're going to be exploring a property in Rancho Santa Fe with unprecedented entertainment value. Check it out.
We have an extra special surprise today because Jenna invited us out to Hacienda del Corazon.
House of the Heart.
Say it in Spanish. We're in San Diego.
Hacienda del Corazon.
That's so terrible.
I know, I sound so white. Which I know what it means, the house, the heart of the house, house of the heart. My understanding is when we find it, it's going to be a massive estate.
My understanding is we were supposed to take a right, like 6 rights ago, but that's okay.
Well, at least it's a nice neighborhood to be driving around.
Rancho Santa Fe. We get a horse arena.
That's right, Jenna did tell me we're going to get the ride of our life here, so I don't even know what that means. I imagine, hey look, there's a horse sign.
We're getting close.
Yeah, that's got to mean something.
I can feel the love.
I can feel the whiskey bar.
Hacienda del Corazon. You could smell the whiskey. I think it is.
Is it?
I see roses.
I see a awesome estate. Wow. Wow. Right here? I can't wait to go in.
Let's do this.
Let's do it. Great time. Ready to show me around?
I thought you were showing me around.
Let's go.
That is an unbelievable property in Rancho Santa Fe, California. At 12,000 square feet, we were probably going to get lost. But before we do, we had an amazing interview with New York's Ryan Serhant, also the star of Bravo's $1 Million Listing, and he dropped some incredible knowledge on us. So get a pen and paper and get ready to take some notes only on The American Dream.
I'm Kara Kay with The American Dream. I get to meet with Ryan Serhant of $1 Million Listing. It's an exclusive interview and it's one you won't want to miss. Thank you again for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
With the wine in the wine room.
It couldn't be classier, in my opinion.
I know, it's very classy. I should have worn a tie.
So I know that you know the importance of TV and media. How important do you think that is in real estate today?
I think media is incredibly important in all businesses. I think any business that does anything for marketing in any way, shape, or form is now a media company. I mean, if you're a real estate brokerage like I am in New York City, we don't build the apartments, we don't build the buildings. We're not really real estate brokers, we're media brokers, right? I find different ways to market my properties via media. And so for me, television has been huge.
Sure, I think you of all people know the importance of getting exposure to listings, which is why you've gotten into TV and media. Now talk about the transition into how important it is to be social as well as on TV.
Yeah, I think that if you're a salesperson, right, which is what the book is for, is anybody who sells anything, you're really selling yourself, right? You're creating a relationship. You sometimes have to talk about the product. Sometimes you have to go into the price. Sometimes you have to go into the features. You need to have all that information, but that's what you need to do. That's the job, right? Everything else, especially through social media, especially through different forms of media, is building that relationship passively, right? This, you and I talking right now, is an active communication, building a relationship. Right. But I can hit so many more people through social, right, through YouTube, through LinkedIn articles. People talk about passive income all the time. For salespeople and for a lot of people in our generation, kind of the gig generation, we have passive relationships are passive income, because those will turn into other sources of work for us down the line, and we just don't even know what they are.
If you are talking to a realtor who really wants to make it tomorrow and in the future, what advice would you give them?
I am always blown away when I meet new salespeople, especially real estate agents, who post on Instagram once a month, who aren't doing anything on YouTube or on Facebook or on Twitter, and they say, well, that's not really me. Well, then the job isn't really you. You can't sit there and complain about not having business, or sit there and complain about how the market's so tough, if you're not actively doing things that are under your control. And what's under your control is putting out media. There's so many different places to absorb content these days, and so many real places to hit real people, to target them directly in your neighborhood, on your block, like that age group. It's all about consistency.
Are you ready to cheers to your book and all your success?
Sure.
Okay.
Are we drinking this?
Yeah, I mean,
are we chugging
I know
it?
nothing about wine.
So we're cheersing to the American Dream?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that again.
Okay.
So it's for real.
Okay, cheers.
All right.
To the American Dream.
It doesn't get any better than Ryan Serhant. I mean, there is a reason why millions of people follow him every single week. We're lucky to have him on the show. And right now, we're gonna go back to Rancho Santa Fe and see what Craig and Tawny are up to. Check it out.
Now this is an estate. This is an entertainer's dream. Tawny, can I saddle up with you?
Sure.
In this full bar?
Have you ever seen an estate with its own saloon?
No, I've never been in a place like this. This flooring is from President Madison's house. They refurbished it and...
President Madison?
Yeah. So like from his house, this flooring from his house is now in this pad that we're sitting right now in front of this bar.
Well, I think I'm feeling a little presidential.
Yeah?
So I think this calls for a shot.
Shot, cocktail, shot, right, let's do it. We wouldn't be doing this bar justice if we didn't take a shot.
Well, I'm feeling classy, so how about the bad stuff?
All right, coming right up. 2 shots of bad stuff.
It's a classic.
Here I have your bad stuff. So I'm gonna pour us a couple shots, but I mean, could you imagine hosting a party here? This could serve hundreds of people.
And if this is your house, you're gonna be the most popular kid, and I promise you, everybody's gonna come party at your house.
Well, this is a great place to host them.
A few more of these, I think you'll be dancing on that stage over there.
I might get on that stage. Depends how we have to get along with the horse arena a little bit later, though.
Oh, yeah?
Check that out later. Do some things out there, have some fun.
Something?
Yeah,
Let's have some fun.
It ain't my first rodeo.
In the midst of the darkest night,
Hacienda del Corazon is a classic property in Rancho Santa Fe.
that were holding me. You sent your son down to set me free. Everything.
This property was originally constructed around the same idea of lifestyle that Rancho Santa Fe was founded on, and that is a simpler and a slower lifestyle.
Every time I walk through this house, I see another detail that blows my mind, but my favorite part about the home is that there's this incredible indoor-outdoor space that is accessible in every room. Living in Southern California and having so many beautiful sunny days, it's wonderful to be able to have all of your doors and windows open.
Floors from President Madison in your own private saloon. These are the sorts of things that I didn't even know I wanted until I saw them. This is an amazing way to entertain, but right now we're going to check out how they entertain in your city.
Welcome back to The American Dream. My next guests are Autumn Lapaglia, owner and broker of Legacy Austin Realty, and Gretchen Vance. She is a Lakeway resident and volunteer. Ladies, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. We're happy to be here.
So, Autumn, I want to begin by talking with you. Explain to me a little bit about what is going on right now in Central Texas. I know that there's been some historic flooding happening in the Austin area. How are things looking right now in the community?
Well, our lake levels are just crazy right now. As Austin residents and Central Texas residents, we love our lakes. They're a huge part of our culture, a huge part of our economy, and a huge resource for us that's really important. These lake levels rose so quickly that a lot of people didn't have the time to properly prepare. So now we're looking at homes and communities and businesses that are just devastated, and a lot of them still completely underwater. To give some perspective, Lake Travis is considered at full capacity at 681 feet above sea level. Now, we're usually in a drought, so even getting to 681 is a huge deal for us. But the lake levels actually rose up to 704 feet, which is the highest that it's been in 21 years. So it's just a lot for the city. It's overwhelming for everybody. Even these businesses and these homes that are underwater, it's going to be with lake levels lowering as they are, and they're slowly but surely coming down. It's going to be a long time before they're even above water to start thinking about the process of rebuilding and what that looks like. At the same time, we get our water from these lakes. So because of all the debris and the dirt that's in the lakes from flooding and from opening the dams, our filtration systems are having a really hard time keeping up with producing enough clean water and clean enough water for everybody to drink. So this actually forced the city of Austin into a citywide mandatory boil water notice, which, as you can imagine, caused a lot of discomfort and a lot of inconvenience, a little bit of panic in the city with everybody trying to get bottles of water at the grocery store, schools making sure they have clean water for all the students to drink every day. It's just a lot. So there are very few people in Central Texas who have not been affected by some way, in some way by these floods.
Absolutely incredible and devastating. Gretchen, now you're a small business owner, you're a resident of the Lake Travis area, and I understand that you're actually organizing a supply drive to help with local flood relief. Can you tell us a little bit about your role in the Lake Travis community and how people can participate in the relief drive?
Yes, absolutely. So we have started a flood relief drive through Lakeway Broadcast, which is a Facebook page of approximately 5,000 members, and we have sent out a list that FEMA has deemed an adequate list for flood relief: bleach, cleaners, things to that magnitude. That list is published on our Facebook page. We do have businesses in the area. We own Electric Avenue Acro, which is an acrobatics and tumbling facility. We are a drop-off site for that flood relief drive, as is MacArthur's. It's a restaurant in the heart of Lake Travis, and Hops and Thyme, also a restaurant in Lake Travis. And Trent Chastain, who owns Hops and Thyme, his house right now is underwater, so he's very directly connected to this relief drive. We have 2 city council members that are running for city council, Lewis and Wendy, who are actively participating in the drive as well. And so they're also helping us collect donations. But people can drop their donations off at MacArthur's, Hops and Thyme, Electric Avenue Acro, or O'Neill's Pool Supply. And we will, once we can assess who needs these things, right now these homes are still underwater. We have restaurants that are only viewable by the rooftop. So this water level needs to come down. We're at 700 feet today, but most of these started flooding in the 690 range. So we have quite a ways to go before we can assess if these things are even repairable or if it's just going to be a tear down and rebuild.
Oh, it's just incredible. So much damage with these floods. Autumn, what do you expect in the weeks to come, and how can the community continue to offer their support and assistance to those that have been affected?
So there are a lot of questions about what's to come. Our entire lake system operates in a very complex Highland Lake system that has several lakes and many dams that all affect what's going to happen next. If we get rain in different parts of the state, if we get rain in different parts of our city, it can have very drastic results one way or the other. Right now, we're really hoping that the levels continue to come down. We need them to, and we're supposed to have some sunshine to help with that. But it's going to be a process. And I think the biggest thing that we can do, because we don't know exactly what people need right now, is just to be a source of support for our community. You know, when these restaurants start opening and the businesses start opening again after they're able to rebuild, we need to be out there supporting them. We need to be having dinners and lunches at these our favorite lakeside restaurants, so that hopefully we can get back eventually to the fun and thriving lake life that we're used to in Austin.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for your time today and just for really highlighting the devastation that's going on and actively trying to do something about it. We really appreciate your time today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Never been in a horse stable in California before. I've been in a lot of real estate, but nothing like this. This is cool.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Grew up in horses all my life. And this is honestly one of the coolest.
So Jenna is going to show us around, take us on some of these horses, but you know, I'm kind of noticing there's not any here. This thing could hold 7 or 8 of them, I think.
Yeah, it could hold you. You could live here.
I could live here. All right, well, you're the one who grew up in a barn. So what about these horses? All right, and there she is. Hey, Jenna.
Hi. I know. I promised you guys horses, and there are no horses here today. But the good news is the owners took them down to the Del Mar racetrack, and we have the whole place to ourselves, and I have something super exciting planned. We have 400 horses up at the garage.
400 horses in the garage. All right. Well, let's check it out. All right.
So this is what I really wanted to show you, the toy garage.
What a garage, a lot of toys.
We have motorcycles, motorized bicycles,
Yep.
a classic Chevelle.
This is a beast. Now this is a nice car. I don't even want to touch it because I don't want to get my fingerprints on it.
But what you get to go out and have some fun with is this razor.
So this is the horses.
This is it.
So I get to drive this?
Go have fun.
All right. Can I bring Tawny with me?
Of course.
Wow.
Go rip it
All
up.
right. Let's go cruising this beast. I'm gonna go grab Tawny and we're gonna go tear it up.
Now, remember, be gentle. The owners aren't here.
All right, got it. Giddy up. Let's do this.
If you would take all the posters on my walls growing up as a kid and put all the cars together, it would be that garage. I mean, that property is absolutely amazing and something that dreams are made of. But right now, we're gonna check out your agent in your city.
Hello, everybody. We are here in Austin, Texas on the American Dream Show. We are at the Driscoll Hotel. It's a haunted hotel, downtown Austin. We are at the kickoff for the Austin Film Festival. This is the film and food fundraiser. I think a lot of the money goes towards scholarships for those creative types.
Aspiring filmmakers, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have all kinds of things going on. I'm here with Craig Casselberry. He joined me on a previous show, and he is actually a screenwriter. Tell us about your experience here.
Well, it's always fantastic. This thing does kick off the festival, 25th anniversary, right? And it raises money for a great cause. There's so much energy. It's going to be a great 10 days. I'm glad to be back.
Lots of great things going on. Now this, we've talked about, it's more for writers. It celebrates, though, all creative types having to do with the film and television and 3D and, even gaming industries.
Yeah.
So all kinds of great things going on, lots of star power here. And next, we have the opportunity to interview Barbara Morgan, who was the founder of the Austin Film Festival. So join us upstairs. We are going up to the balcony. Anyone knows the Austin Film Festival, it's Barbara. She is the executive director, founder, been here since day one when I think, 4 people?
Yep.
So tell me a little bit about the history and how it's grown to be what it is today.
Well, we started in '94, and we actually did the first festival at Willie Nelson's old Austin Opera House, which is not there anymore. It was out, right downtown. And it was crazy. It was raining just like today, literally, and the roof needed fixing and the water was coming in. But nobody seemed to notice because we really lucked out. We had some incredible writers that came in the first year, writer of Chinatown. We had 5 Academy Award winning writers. And so it was kind of magic. You know, we had all these Texas folks here. I think it's fitting that we're on this balcony because Ann Richards actually was really instrumental in the festival happening. I was at a party with her film commissioner, her brand new film commissioner, at a friend's house here. And I said, why isn't there a film festival in Austin? And then I had another glass of wine, and then I said, I'm gonna do a film festival in Austin. And she said, okay, Ann's been trying to get somebody to do that. So I thought, okay, maybe this is the time to do it. So, you know, it's wonderful that we're still around 25 years later. But I have to say, I did not think that first year, I didn't even think there would be a year 5, let alone a year 2.
And I think you're, what about, is it 15,000 attendees approximately now, and it brings about $12 million into the Austin economy.
That's right, yep.
So we're so glad that you had that creative vision.
And we have a TV show called On Story on PBS stations around the U.S. and a radio show too. So we've really turned it into a lot more because it's easy to get bored. So.
Well, it's not going to be boring this week. A lot of events going on. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you're very busy, but we're very happy to have you on the American Dream Show.
Thank you.
I am here with John Robison. He is the owner of New Republic Studios. Very influential, great asset to Austin here. So tell us a little bit about what you do. What's going on in the film world here?
Well, thank you for having me. My torso is getting more so I'm happy to be here at the food part of the Food and Film Festival. As we know, New Republic Studios is, we have a few hundred acres of beautiful land out between here and Bastrop, and we're just building, our whole purpose was to build a creative environment for filmmakers, and it's content and technology coming together. And we're just crazy enough to do it. And
we were talking a bit ago about the architecture of a film, just like the architecture of a home. So you look at the foundation first. And so kind of expound on that. When you're looking at something, what makes it a good script?
Well, writers are the architects of a film. People don't really realize the relationship. But the writer determines, just like an architect, what your house could look like. Is it modern? Is it Spanish? Is it, what is the style? Is it a Texas ranch house?
Are you going to make money on it?
Yes, and then the next thing you look at when you're a writer puts together and you look at the quality like you would the quality of the architecture. But a businessman like me and in the production and in the studio ownership end looks at it as how are we going to market this script and how are we going to sell it and where are we going to sell it? And that's what I look at. Just like a real estate developer might look at land, or a writer or a architect, or someone looking at the home might look at it and say, oh, I want that lot with those. It's the same ecosystem.
Some of the big movies, so we've got, one of them is, I'm excited, is Julia Roberts. Ben is back as the movie Tearjerker. I've heard there's some Oscar nods towards that one.
Yep.
Hugh Jackman, that one's called The Frontrunner. It is the story of Gary Hart. And Willie Nelson. How can we forget Willie Nelson? Austin Night. I've heard that movie was filmed. What was the name of that one?
Oh, goodness gracious.
Well, it's okay. Just look it up, but it's here in Austin, and it was filmed in the Hill Country, and it just so happens to be by my Willie Nelson's Tierra Vista development with all my lots in it. So it's beautiful, and now the lakes are really full, so the views are even better. There's so much going on. It ends on November 1st, Halloween. They've got things going on. Get your tickets, come and support the fun, watch some great movies, laugh, cry. We are excited to share it with you.
Yeah, and me too. Good to be with you.
Well, and he's a winner. He's a past winner of the screenplay.
Well, yeah, what can I say?
So I've got a good host here.
It was pretty cool.
Well, that's it for this episode of The American Dream. I don't know how I ended up in the studio when Craig and Tawny got to ride that thing out in Rancho Santa Fe. Either way, if you have a property that you think would be perfect for the American Dream, or you have a story that you think that we should shoot out all over the nation, we would love to hear from you. And until the next episode, I hope you keep dreaming, and thanks for stopping by.
Till you come back home.